Take a deep breath. We're going in. Marine wildlife is the plant, animal, and other organisms that live in salt water of the sea or ocean, or the brackish water of coastal estuaries. At a fundamental level, marine life affects the nature of the planet. Sea creatures look very different from land animals. Different body shapes, different feathers. They move through water much thicker than air. Animals have lived here for millions of years, developing special adaptation to thrive in and underwater worlds, for breathing and swimming. The marine biome has the most biodiversity of all the biomes. There are a few types of animals that you will find in the marine biomes. For the fish, such as shark, stingray, and seahorse, it has skills that allow them to breathe underwater. For marine mammals like blue whale, dolphin, and manatee, they need to come to the surface to breathe, but spend the majority of their life submerged. For mollusks like octopus, oyster, and sludge, they are animals which have a soft body and no backbone. A marine organism, especially microorganisms such as phytoplankton and zooplankton, is important to produce oxygen and sequester carbon to all living things in the ocean and also to the land. Seagrasses, algae, and seaweed are two main forms of marine vegetation. Algae and seaweed have simple shape and are typically microscopic, whereas seagrasses are members of some of more complex plants. Marine plants differ in size, from single-cell organisms to enormous, complex organisms. Phytoplankton are the smallest marine plants, which are single-celled and form the basis of the marine food chain. The most common marine plant is green algae, Chlorophyta. Chlorophyll is responsible for the vivid green color of this algae. The largest and most diversified group of marine plants is red algae, Rhodophyta, which are colored by the pigment phycoerythrin. Reefs are formed when red algae cling to coral. Marine creatures also live in estuaries, where rivers and oceans meet and the water is still salty.
There are four main marine habitats, which are mangrove, intertidal zones, deep sea, and reef. Mangrove. These are the combination of trees and shrubs found at the shorelines of oceans, riverbanks, and in the estuaries. They are mainly found in tropical and subtropical areas. Mangrove is found in muddy soil that is collected by erosions, protecting other species from getting affected. Mangrove provide ideal breeding grounds for much of the world's fish, shrimp, crabs, and other shellfish. Due to its widespread and dense plant-like environment, these areas are able to collect fresh water with the help of their thick succulent leaf. Intertidal zone. This is region between high and low tides that constantly receives harsh and unfavorable habitat. The algae and other intertidal plants grow in abundant sunlight and act as a food source for animals. Brittle stars, crabs, green algae, isopods, and several other organisms are found in the intertidal zone. Organisms in this region must survive and adapt to difficulties like temperature change, extreme sunlight, ocean predators, and so on. Deep sea. Unlike intertidal zone, deep sea habitat is an extremely harsh region where the marine life must survive with the hundreds of bar of pressure, small amounts of oxygen, very little food, no sunlight, and constant extreme cold. It is the deepest known region of marine habitat, which can possess a depth lying between 700 meters to several miles. To survive there, they have evolved some very strange adaptations. Some make their own light, an ability called bioluminescence, while others are totally blind. Some of terrifying looking like anglerfish, vampire squids produce luminescent cloud of glowing particles that last between 2 until 9 minutes. Reef. Being one of the most diverse marine habitats, the coral reef is home to thousands of different marine organisms. Coral reefs are found all around the world in tropical and subtropical regions. Because of its need for direct sunlight, it is found in the shallow region of marine habitat. Coral reefs provide habitats for a large variety of marine life, including various sponges, oysters, clams, crabs, sea stars, sea urchins, and many species of fish. Unfortunately, there are several threats that affect species in this region, such as warming of water as a result of climate change, and pollutants are extracted from agriculture and sewage flows directly to the oceans.
Marine resources are valuable material and attribute that can be found in the ocean. This value might be either intrinsic or monetary in nature: biological diversity, fish and seafood supply, oil and gas, minerals, sand and gravel, renewable energy resources, tourism potential, and unique ecosystems such as coral reef are among them. Oil and gas are formed when dead marine plants and animals are left on the ocean floor and became covered in sediment over many years. When they get buried deeply enough, heat and pressure become so great that they are compressed and form oil. They can go one step further and generate natural gas with more heat and compression. With higher heat and compression, they can go a stage further and form natural gas. Sand and gravel are simply sediment that is broken down and carried into the sea by fast-moving rivers. Minerals are formed in a variety of ways depending on the minerals, but generally formed when lava from volcanoes solidify. Water itself contains minerals, and when volcanoes erupt, the lava solidifies to form rock and contains mineral. Mineral formation is determined by how fast the lava cools. Because minerals are crystalline, it must be slow enough for crystal to form. The slower the lava cools, the larger the crystal. Coral reef form when coral larvae attach to underwater rock. The reef is formed of these larvae. Barrier reef, atoll reef, and fringy reef are the three main types of reef that commonly form. Fringy reef are most commonly found around coastline and extend from the shore to the sea. Barrier reef are also found along the shore, however, they are further away and separated by deep water. Atoll reef are formed when a fringy reef surrounds an underwater volcano. A barrier reef is formed after the volcano recedes. It forms a circular atoll reef once the reef reaches the surface. Coral reefs are a valuable marine resource not only because of the biological diversity they contain, but also because of the time it takes for them to form.
We got history, got me feeling the nostalgia when you look at me, thinking about what could've happened or what could've been.